I want to thank everybody for coming to listen to my persuasive speech today on recycling. Overall, Americans recovered 34% of waste generated in 2009. That means we threw away 161 tons of material, which amounts to about 3 pounds of garbage per person per day. There were about 9,000 curbside recycling programs in the United States in 2009. In 2009, Americans recycled 82 million tons of materials. The resulting CO2 emission reduction is equivalent to taking 33 million passenger vehicles off the road. The recyclable materials in the United States waste stream would generate over $7 billion if they were recycled. That's equivalent to Donald Trump's net worth. The recycling industry employed over 1.1 million workers and generated over $236 billion in annual revenue in 2001. Increasing recycling rates and new collection programs show that the industry is growing. In 2009, 3.4 million tons of aluminum were generated in the U.S. and 0.69 million tons were recovered. In the United States, over 100,000 aluminum cans are recycled each minute. That amounts to 53 billion cans recycled in 2010. However, over $1.1 billion in aluminum cans were wasted in 2010. The aluminum cans recycled in 2010 stacked. If the aluminum cans recycled in 2010 were stacked upon one another, it would be 1,454 times taller than the Empire State Building. If you laid all the aluminum cans recycled in 2010 end to end, they could circle the Earth 169 times. The U.S. recycling rate for aluminum beverage cans reached 58.1% in 2008. Rate that is more than double that of any other beverage container. 20 recycled cans can be made with the energy needed to produce one can using virgin ore. Recycling one aluminum can save enough energy to run your television for 3 hours. The amount of energy saved just from recycling cans in 2010 is equal to the energy equivalent of 17 million barrels of crude oil, or nearly 2 days of U.S. oil imports. In 2009, 25% of all electronics at the end of their usual lives were collected for recycling. Approximately 38% by weight of all computers ready for the end-of-life management in 2009 were collected for recycling. Only 17% by weight of all televisions at the end of their life were recovered for recycling in 2009. Only 8% by weight of all mobile phones no longer in use in 2009 were collected for recycling. The average consumer replaces their mobile phone every 20.5 months. Over a ton of natural resources are conserved for every ton of glass recycled, including 1,300 pounds of sand, 410 pounds of soda ash, 380 pounds of limestone, and 160 pounds of feldspar. It takes 24 trees to make 1 ton of uncoated virgin, non-recycled printing and office paper. Using recycled scrap paper instead of virgin materials saves 7,000 gallons of water per ton of paper produced. Recycled paper production creates 74% less air pollution and 35% less water pollution than virgin paper production. In 2009, about 30 million tons of plastics were generated in the United States, and only around 2 million tons were recovered. In 2009, 2.12 million tons of plastics of all kinds were recycled in the United States. However, that was only 7.1% of all plastics generated in 2009. In 2009, the plastic bottle recycling rate reached a record high of 2.5 billion pounds, or 28% of all plastic bottles consumed in the United States. All in all, obviously our world would be a much cleaner and beautiful place if everyone helped recycle. Show everybody again. Or just cut it off.